guys. Welcome to another webinar. My name is Juan Garcia, and I'm joined by my good friend and MBSR practitioner, Mr. Jarish. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Doing great, Juan, and very excited for this session.
So am I.
Yeah. So, Juan, today we're going to swap roles. So I'm going to be the one asking the questions. All right. So, would you mind introducing yourself to the audience in terms of what you exactly do as a coach? How do you help people as a coach?
Yeah, so my name is Juan Garcia, for everyone that doesn't know me. I'm a Procter and Gallagher consultant. So if you guys know who Bob Proctor is, you know, the law of attraction expert. He came out in the movie The Secret. I work as a consultant for Bob, and basically what I do is I work with people or I work with groups, and I help teach them about the mind. And most importantly, teach them about themselves, things that perhaps they didn't know about themselves. And I teach them how. So, for example, my favorite example that I like to use is so when a computer has a virus, the computer doesn't work properly, right?
Yeah, correct.
So what I do is I help people understand that when you change the virus on the computer, then the computer functions properly, right?
Yeah,
So
correct.
us in our childhood, all of us, we had some type of virus instilled in us, whether that be about money, whether that be about love, about success, about health, about happiness. All of us have some type of virus in us that is limiting us from our true life's potential. And that's something that Bob Proctor calls or refers to as a paradigm. A paradigm is nothing but a multitude of habits or thoughts or ideas or behaviors lodged in our subconscious mind. And they're so deeply embedded in there. And when you realize that it's literally controlling your behavior, your thoughts, and your actions, it's literally controlling the results in your life. And that's why people are stuck where they are, you know? Like, I'll give you another example. When I first started at 18 years old, I joined my first network marketing group. And I realized I wasn't getting the results. I was there for 3 years and I could not recruit anybody. I could not make a sale, like nothing. And then some people are coming in left and right and they're over here having success. And it's like 2 weeks, like they're brand new people. And in their first 2 weeks, they're having massive success. And I'm over here 3 years and I can't even make one penny doing it. So something's wrong there. Something is definitely wrong there. And I was like, this doesn't look right, you know? And then that's when I realized I was a problem because I would keep going from company to company and the same thing would occur to me. So I then became passionate about realizing what was wrong with me, you know? And when I found out and when I understood why I was failing, that's when everything just clicked. I'm like, okay, so this is what I'm passionate about. I want to help the person who is currently and where I used to be. I want to help them get unstuck and help them create the life or the results that they want. And so that's a little bit about what I do right there.
That's very interesting because you know what happens. What happens is when people are not able to actually achieve whatever they want to achieve, what happens is they can actually start adding another layer to the layers you actually need to work on. Because what will happen is they may start believing that maybe I'm not skillful enough. Maybe I don't have the talent. That's why I'm not able to succeed. While the problem could be actually, the things you've discussed about could be the bringing all the kind of thoughts you've taken in your psyche. So I usually call that the subconscious. So all the programming which happened throughout all these years, that's what created the person. But the person may think that, maybe I'm just not good enough. That's why it's not working out. So it's very dangerous. And you are saying that it's based on the programming of the person, right? The beliefs and all the things instilled in you.
Let me give you an example here. Sorry to cut you off. So basically, I like to give me as an example because there's some people out there who may or may not resonate. So for example, for me, I remember growing up in a family who lacked money all the time. We always lacked money. There was very little bit of it. And so I remember clearly as a 6-year-old or as a 7-year-old. And I remember being with my parents always at the, I don't know, the store,
Mhm.
toy store, the mall, whatever. And I remember always asking them for a specific toy.
Mhm.
And the answer would always be, no, son, we don't have enough money. There's
Mhm.
not enough money. Can't afford it. It's too expensive. There's no money right now. Maybe
Mhm.
next time.
Mhm.
So as a young child, you don't have a conscious mind yet.
Mhm.
You know, you have a subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind is wide open.
Mhm.
That's how we get programmed through our subconscious mind through repetition.
Mhm.
So my programming was on lack of money, and then that program was never changed. So I kept growing up as a young kid, as a teenager, and as a young adult. And guess
Mhm.
what? I never changed it. So
Mhm.
as a young person, as a young adult, I was attracting lack of money, lack of money, lack of
Mhm.
money. No matter how hard I worked, I couldn't make any more money because that
Yeah.
was my mental programming, lack
Mhm.
of money.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
until you change that program, nothing in your life will
Yeah.
change.
Yeah.
No results are going to
Yeah.
change.
Yeah. And you know what comes to my mind right now? What comes to my mind is the what comes to my mind are the people who actually end up winning the lottery, let's say, but they end up losing all the money also, and it's because of the mindset, because they're not used to wealth, so they don't know how to generate, and they don't know how to manage the wealth. And it's about the mindset, because if you think about it, anyone could be saving money, for instance, but people think that they don't have enough money, all right, and they end up just using the money in a negative way, despite how much you're earning. And it's because of the mindset. They don't know how to generate, they don't know how to save. And if you have a poor mentality mindset, let's say, because of the context you just explained, no matter how talented you are, if well, I think what you're trying to say right now is, if you think you don't deserve money, you're never going to attract money, right? Despite all
Exactly.
the hard
Exactly.
work. And
Hmm.
what I think where you come into place as a coach is making sure that the person understands that it's the belief which has created the context right now. But at the same
Exactly.
time, the hard work also is important, isn't it? Because you can't be having someone with all the positive affirmations that, I'm going to generate money, but the person doesn't put in the work. Then that won't work as well. So I think we
Hmm.
need to balance both, isn't it?
Hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, in I mean, as a coach, have you come across lots of people who actually were able to manifest wealth, manifest success while you work with them? And were there people who actually were not able to, because it was very hard to change the inner programming? Because you will know, uh, some people experience, or they generate a lot of reluctance, isn't it,
Hmm.
towards
Hmm.
change. So how hard is it, or how easy is it to work with people?
You know what? It varies from person to person, Jarish, but typically speaking, if the person's willpower is strong enough and they are consistent enough and they're followed through exactly as I say for 90 days, their
Mm-hmm.
whole entire life will change for 90 days.
All right, all right.
Because so our subconscious mind is programmed to through two ways. Number one is emotional impact, and number two is through repetition.
Mm-hmm.
So emotional impact would be something like a dramatic event that happened to you, like I don't know, you almost lost your life, or
Mm-hmm.
September 11th, or you
Yeah.
lost a close one, something like
Mm-hmm.
that impacts you quick emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
The second way we do it is through repetition. So I like to give this example all the time. When I was in elementary school,
Mm-hmm.
when you behave bad in class, they would make you write something called standards. And that's when you would literally write on a piece of paper, I will not talk in class. I will not talk in
Mm-hmm.
class. I will not talk in
Yeah.
class. And they will make you write that 100 times. They knew something that we didn't know. They knew
Yeah.
something.
Programming.
They knew that through repetition, you
Mm.
reprogram the subconscious mind
Yes, you do. You
through
do.
repetition.
Mm-hmm.
So typically, if someone doesn't have the willpower to go through and continue on through the repetition and the repetition, if they're not disciplined or they're not if they're not consistent, then it's not gonna work. It's not that this doesn't work, it's that they don't have the self-discipline to follow through with it. So I would say on average, if people come to me, then they're really how do I say this? They're really upset in the position they are where they're at right now. So if they're that upset, then they really do something about it. So for the most part, yes, everyone does make a difference in their own life. Everyone does it. It's rare that you'll find a person that doesn't, you know? So, yeah.
And, you mentioned something very interesting right now, very interesting to me. You said if they're very uncomfortable about their position, right? If they're very upset, I think you mentioned the word upset. And that's something very important. You know, I always tell that to people, and I want to share it here. There are actually two ways you motivate yourself to take actions. One way is actually before actually achieving the goal, you visualize you achieving. So these positive emotions actually make you to want to take action to get the goals. Okay, that's the first one. And the second one is feeling very bad about yourself in your current situation right now, because that discomfort, that emotion of not feeling good will actually motivate you, that kick you in your ass, motivate you to actually take action so that you get out of this situation as soon as you can. So you mentioned about being upset, and I really want to hammer down that point, because every time I feel like, you know, I'm starting to let go a bit, I just think about how bad I will be if I actually don't do what I have to do. Think about the worst case scenario, and then automatically you get the energy to actually take actions to go towards your goal. So I think that was something very important which came up while you were elaborating. And you used 90. You said 90 days, right? And
yeah, so typically
why is 90 the magical number?
So for example, it all depends on your inner program. Some people have really deep subconscious conditioning, and that's going to require, say, 90 days, 120 days, whatever. Some people's program is not that strong, you know. They're just right there knocking on the door to change. So some people require 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. It all varies on the person's subconscious program. So I like to teach something very important here. So I pulled up this little chart right here. Are you able to see this?
Yeah, we can, yeah.
So this is a stick figure person right here. I want this top circle to represent the mind, and then the little circle to represent the body. So for those of you who are into law of attraction or understand and are always telling me, hey, Juan, I can't seem to fit, you know, the law of attraction is just not working for me. I've tried every technique, every trick, everything, but it's just not working. This is the foundation to the law of attraction working. If you're not aware of this, and if you're not applying this into your daily life, no law of attraction technique is going to work. So basically how this works is very simple. There are two parts to our mind. We have our conscious mind and then our subconscious mind. The conscious mind is responsible for our thinking, our reason, our making decisions, etc. Our subconscious mind is our emotional mind. It's our where all of our programs are stored. All of our subconscious programs are stored. This is also where emotions are stored. This is also where the part of our mind where we take action, or where we have a certain behavior, or you know, just all those subconscious things. And the trick here is you need to align your thoughts with your emotions. Your thoughts plus your emotions is going to dictate the vibration that your body is in. And then that is what's going to attract what you want in your life. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So you can't just think about something, you need to develop the right emotions for it as well.
Emotions, exactly. So if on a conscious, let's use this money for example. Let's say someone wants money, right? Let's say someone like me let me use me for an example.
Yeah.
So back then, I was consciously aware that I wanted money,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
but my subconscious conditioning was telling me, nope, you're
Yeah.
poor. You're not gonna make no money. You're poor. You're gonna be stuck
Yeah.
here forever.
It's like your
And I
inner
didn't
critic.
know that.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now these two are different.
Mm-hmm.
Money, no money, and then they're they're
There's conflict.
they're in conflict here.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
conflict.
Mm-hmm.
So what that manifest when you have conflict, that manifests in the body as anxiety, fear, worry.
Definitely confused mind. Yeah.
Exactly. So what you need to do in order to attract the results in your life, let's say money,
Mm-hmm.
you need to align your conscious mind with
Mm-hmm.
your subconscious mind.
Yeah.
They need to be in perfect alignment.
Mm-hmm.
Thought
Mm-hmm.
with feeling.
Yeah.
How do you do that? Let me
Mm-hmm.
give you an example here. So I like visualization. So you use your conscious mind to visualize,
Mm-hmm.
but you use your subconscious mind to become emotionally involved with it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you want to attract $20,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to lay down and you're going to put yourself in a very sleepy state, such as you do with your clients.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're going to access the subconscious mind and you're going to start to visualize money. How does it feel to have the money?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of car are you driving?
Mm-hmm.
Where are you living? What kind of house do you have? What kind of
Mm-hmm.
clothes are you wearing?
Yeah.
How's your family's lifestyle? You
Mm-hmm.
have to become emotionally involved with a thought.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are some emotions that you would experience while having that? You would experience joy.
Mm-hmm.
You would experience gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
You would experience excitement.
Mm-hmm.
You would experience just a new look on life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you have to align the thoughts with your emotions. If you do not align that,
Mm-hmm.
nothing will. And it just doesn't work for money. It works for anything else. If
Anything
your
you want to
thoughts
attract in your
do
life. Yeah.
exactly, if your thoughts
Mm-hmm.
do not align with your emotions, you're never
Mm-hmm.
going to attract it. Never. You have
Mm-hmm.
to align them both in order. They both have to be in harmony in order for you to attract what it is that you want in your
Yeah.
life. And
And I think,
that's
yeah.
basically what the program is about.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry to cut you off. It's
No,
basically
no, yeah.
helping people align their thoughts with their
Mm-hmm.
emotions in order to manifest whatever it is they want in life.
Exactly, exactly. I think that's very interesting. And I think deep down you also need to believe that you actually deserve that thing, isn't it? I think that's the main resistance I notice in clients. For example, those those who don't have the right relationships right now, let's say they can't attract the right partner, it's because deep down you don't believe you deserve to have someone like this. You want it, but you don't think you deserve it. So I think in terms of alignment, that's something you need to work on also. And I think it comes back to something we discussed in the previous mastermind series, where we talk about self-love and self-esteem, isn't it?
Mhm.
It's actually knowing that you deserve. Everyone deserves abundance, right? Everyone
Of
deserves
course.
love.
We were all
Everyone
born
deserves.
rich.
Yeah.
We were all literally born rich. The thing is, the subconscious program that we were instilled as a child,
Hmm.
before birth and then after birth,
Yeah.
the subconscious program that we were stored with, for example, the media,
Hmm.
the newspapers, the radio, the
Yeah.
TV,
Yeah.
your parents, your friends, your
Hmm.
neighbors, all of that is filling our subconscious mind as a child, as a baby, as an
Hmm.
infant.
Yeah.
And your subconscious mind does not have the ability to reject. It
Yeah.
only accepts whatever you give to it.
Yeah.
For example, why do you think whatever you do, your work is so effective? It's
Hmm.
effective because when you put the person in a drowsy state, in a sleepy state, you give them affirmations to their subconscious mind and it's
Mm.
wide open.
Yeah. Yeah.
You follow what I'm saying? So
Hmm. Hmm.
the person's subconscious mind is wide open. It does not have the ability to reject. That's the
Yeah.
same thing with a baby. A baby
Mm.
has their subconscious mind wide open,
Hmm.
and that's why everyone is programmed at an infant.
Hmm.
And the thing is, we were all born abundant, but
Mm.
it's just everything around us, the environment programs us, and we
Hmm.
were raised with these viruses.
Yeah.
So
That's it's amazing. It's a very nice conversation, and it just brings home the point that each one of us has tremendous potential, which we kind of let go of. And we can't actually play the blame game also here, because if you think about it, if you try to go back, you would say that a lot of these affirmations will be coming from your surroundings, so from your family, possibly your parents, possibly schooling, and the things you've lived. But you talked about that, having limited beliefs linked to money, right? But if you try to dig deep, I think these beliefs were generated or were created by your close ones because of fear. Because
I would agree.
people are trying to be in their comfort zone, and the more you talk to people, you realize that some people look at money as in something evil, in fact. Because if you start to generate lots of money, it like feed the ego, you'll become materialistic and all those things. So I think traditionally, in certain families, money has been labeled as something, which is materialistic. It's not that good. Okay, money is not something that good. So it ends up creating beliefs where, yeah, we can't afford those things also, but we're actually not working to generate more money also. We're okay with that simple life and, living simply. Do you resonate with that, or do you think that's a bit far-fetched?
No, that's totally on par with what you're saying. And I want to reiterate on something you said. The belief system is at the end of the day, the belief is right here in your subconscious mind.
Yeah.
That's literally it, the belief. I just call it a program because it's easier for people to understand.
Yeah.
But that's what it is. It's a belief system. And through repetition of affirmation, of if you give your subconscious mind orders through repetition, so by consistency over and over and over and over again, that belief system is going to shift. So one day you're going to go, if you do it often enough and consistently every single day, discipline, one day that belief system on money, on the lack of money, is going to be abundant money. I have more than enough. I live my dream lifestyle. I make $20,000 a month. I enjoy money. Money comes to me easily and effortlessly, etc. So through your subconscious belief, that's where all our beliefs are stored. And that's very, very, very important.
Yeah.
I'm glad you mentioned that. The belief system, at the end of the day, that's what needs to go.
Yeah. Now I would like
and
to...
there are many different ways to program your subconscious mind. I'm sorry.
All right. I'd like to mention something. What if you want something, but you can't generate the emotion for it? Then what would you advise the person?
That's a very good question. That's a really, really good question. This is something I struggled with before. There could be many reasons why. Either your goal might not be big enough, or either it's something that you really, really don't want. A lot of the times, oftentimes for myself, I remember as a young adult, I wanted so many things. But the problem was I wanted them all at the same time,
Yeah.
And when attracting something, it doesn't work that way. You can't be focused on so many things at the same time. You have to pick one, maximum two things, maximum. And so when you pick your number one or number two biggest desire in life, and when you focus on that, I feel like automatically, if you really, really want it bad enough, I feel like by default, the emotion will just be there. But if by some reason it's something you want and you just can't get the emotion, there's a lot of exercises for that. Visualization, creative visualization. I like to have someone like physically brainstorm, like, so put their goal here and then literally write all the emotions that come with it. So I'm gonna give you an example. For me, money, if I'm writing about money, what comes with money? Taking care of my family, going on vacations, buying the clothes that I like, going to all my favorite sporting events, buying a new home for myself, buying a new car, going fishing every day because that's my hobby.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean, when you see all of those things that money will bring to you,
Mhm.
you just start to become emotionally involved. It just puts you in a
Mm.
different vibration. It
Yeah.
makes you happy.
Mhm.
It makes you have something. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Mhm.
It makes you emotionally involved with the idea. It just
Mhm.
changes your vibration. And the more you look at it every single day, look at it. Look at it in the morning when you wake up. Look at it at night before you go to sleep, and
Mhm.
visualize it. Also, what
Mhm.
also helps me is if you're having trouble with it, I suggest someone um, put on your headphones, listen to your favorite song, listen to music,
Mhm.
whatever is your favorite music playlist. Put it on and listen to it, and
Mhm.
visualize what it's like to have the money, what
Mhm.
it's like to have good health, what it's like to
Mhm.
be happy, what it's
Yeah.
like to be successful in your career.
Mhm.
Visualize it. What does
Yeah.
it look like? Be
Mhm.
very specific. And
Mhm.
once you put music changes our
Mhm.
vibration.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
frequency of music, it
Mhm.
literally changes the vibration that
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
vibrating in.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you raise your vibration, that's another way of channeling your emotions, and that's another
Mhm.
strong, effective way of attracting what we want in our lives.
Mhm. Mhm.
That was a very
Amazing.
good question.
Yeah,
Yeah,
amazing, amazing, amazing. So to end today's session and just do a quick like highlight about what we discussed, we could say that if you want something, you need to first know that you need to think that you deserve it. All right, you need
hmm
to create the right emotions, and from what you just discussed right now, we need to have the right reasons why we want those things. So you would say that's the template for attracting things in your life, and you repeat these things every day in your head.
absolutely.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, to keep things very simple,
Mm.
this, and this has to be in alignment.
Yeah.
Your thoughts with your emotions and your body, they have to be in alignment. If they're not in alignment, you're not going to attract whatever it is that you want. They
Yeah.
all have to be in perfect synchronicity
Mm.
to
Amazing.
make things
Amazing.
easy for everyone.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for your time, Yuan. I think it was an amazing session with lots of insights for viewers to actually understand how the mechanism works. And it's very practical. I mean, you gave lots of tips about things they can do. And possibly in the next session or sometime we could actually go through an exercise more in depth and just to
Absolutely.
elaborate on one technique you think will be powerful for them. All right,
hmm
maybe we could do that in the
Absolutely.
next session. Okay, thanks a lot,
Absolutely.
Johan.
Whatever the
Yeah,
people want, no problem.
yeah, thanks a lot for your time. And yeah, stay tuned for the next session, everyone. We're going to come up with something more exciting next time. Okay, so see you very soon.